What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube world? This is Chris, and this is my channel, Bar None 11970. And this one's going to be one that I want to explain. You're going to have an open mind. You're going to have to give the evidence that I'm about to show an opportunity. If you're closed-minded, if you're a person that will automatically dismiss something because it just goes beyond your belief system to the point where you're not willing to listen and see evidence to draw your own conclusion, then there's nothing I can do for you. This video is going to be for the people who are open-minded, who can see things for what they are. And I'm about to show you something that is, for some people, going to be very mind-blowing. Some people, it's going to be very interesting. Some people, like I said, they're going to automatically dismiss it even when the evidence is presented to them. Now, this is obviously always going to be controversial when you talk about religion, because when you talk about religion, it's going to be based on a lot of propaganda, a lot of programming, a lot of belief systems, and a lot of your life being told how to think. And the more and more we learn about life as a whole, we learn how people say things and then do quite the opposite. And a lot of the things that we have learned, quote unquote, end up not being accurate, some things being flat out lies. So this is going to be one that I'm about to show you that you can make up your own mind. I'm not going to tell you how to think, but it is going to confirm a lot of things I've talked about in the past. So before I start showing that, the first thing I'm going to say is, if you have an open mind, you're going to see this and you're going to be very shocked, to be the least. When I saw it, I thought that was kind of cool. It's a hidden in plain sight. So you could see right here, there is the painting from Michelangelo's God in David, where you see God on one side, basically creating life into Adam by the two fingers touching. It's an iconic painting. Pretty much, if you know anything about art, you will know about this image. Now, there's a hidden in plain sight message that I've never seen before, and when it was pointed out, it was so obvious, it's ridiculous. And when you see it, you're going to be blown away. So some of you may already know this, some may not. But it's going to confirm a lot of things I've been talking about over the years that many people have said was crazy. And the more I study this stuff, the more I see that, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. So if you want to ask a question or make a statement or anything, I always encourage that, but most people may not know how to do that. If you're watching this on my YouTube page, you're not going to be able to ask questions. I don't do the live scrolling because I'm going to miss too many questions, and we just want to keep the questions to specifically on topics, not people promoting their own websites or anything ridiculous. So if you go to my Google Plus page, and I highly recommend you follow me there, if you click on the broadcast there, when the window opens, you'll have on the right-hand side of the screen the ability to ask questions or make statements. So if you want to, please do. I encourage you. So I'm going to do a screen share to show this a little bit better. So we're going to do one image at a time. So let me change this to the screen share, make sure it's presented to everyone. Okay, so now we're going to see the image, the half the image where you see God, okay? And you see all the angels in the background and what looks to be a cape. Now, I want you to look at this picture and tell me if you see something that would look oddly familiar. And look hard, because the whole hidden in plain sight is right there in front of us. It's been there since the creation of this, and it's going to confirm a lot of things I've talked about. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you're going to understand it once it's brought to you. So in the comments section, now if you already know about this, please don't comment, at least not yet, because I want this to be for, especially for new people who've never seen this before. In the comments section, put in the comments section what you see as a whole of this image that looks eerily familiar. So I'm going to give people a minute. Now, I'm not talking about the God image himself, which, by the way, I mean, this is how they picture God, a white bearded man. If you want to believe that, that's fine. But if you know anything about paintings and books and movies and things, as crazy as people want to believe or not believe, there are messages for people who can see beyond what is the obvious. To the general public, this is just a painting. When you see what I'm about to show you, you're going to see there's a lot more, and it will confirm a lot of people's belief systems and might change a lot more. So I'm going to ask you to share this. And I'm waiting a little bit purposely because I'm seeing more and more people are coming on. I want to give them the opportunity to see this live, making it easier. So I'm assuming at this point people have left their comments of what they think they might have seen. And again, if you know what this is, don't leave it in the comment section because we want to not spoil this for people. So this is what I'm going to show you what you're not noticing. If you notice this background, what does that look like to you? Now I'm going to show you other pictures to confirm this, but that is an image of a brain, of your brain. Now let me show you better pictures so you could see it a little bit better. So let's get to the next picture. Now, this picture in front of you, notice the shape is going directly with the image, the stem. I'm going to show you some more. So let's get to the next image. They even draw it out. We have the central sulcus, whatever that is. The cingulate sulcus, again, whatever that is. So they're drawing the outline. We have the medulla, the pons, the optic chism, the pituitary stalk, the vertebra, the Sylvian fissure. So God is in your head. Let's do another analogy. Look at the two. Notice how they put this in specific ways to tell you. Religion teaches you to pray outside, to go to an outside source, saying that God is out in the heavens, which would make him an extraterrestrial, wouldn't he? Because he wouldn't be of this territory. But you ever hear the expression, God is within, I am? And how many times throughout the years have I mentioned the fact that it's all literally in your head? That's where God comes from. It's not saying that God doesn't exist. It's just not where you've been told it is. So is this a coincidence? Could this be a coincidence where Michelangelo just happened to make images that just happen to represent exactly where the medulla is? And you notice they have an angel with the foot, and this is, I believe, a hand. And the cape just flows like a brain. You know, almost to the point where it fits like a T. Is that a coincidence? It sure could be. But if you think of it from a hidden perspective, it's hidden in plain sight, that it's right in front of you. There's a reason why they didn't put Michelangelo in that image, or that image to the side. They have the image of what's supposed to be God inside what looks to be your brain. God is within you. So it kind of makes the whole religion thing taint what the true message is. They want you to seek outside. And if you think about it, it also correlates with government. They don't want you to do things on your own. They don't want you to be independent. They want you to follow somebody else's authority, to look outside yourself for other people to take care of you. Now, I'm not saying to no longer believe in God, but not the way that they've been teaching you. Because like I said in many videos, for there to be a creation, you have to have a creator. Something had to create us. I seriously doubt it was a white bearded man that did it, although it could be. But they're giving you the image, and I'll show the other images, that it all comes from within. Now, again, I'm not telling you how to think. I am showing you things that you will never see on Fox News, CNN. Your politicians will never talk about it. Your local church or mosque or monastery or place of worship will never touch this stuff. I'm just showing you possibilities. Look at the difference. So you can draw your own conclusions, but I have been telling people for years about this stuff. It's not because I am anti-faith. It's just the way that they're teaching you is to look outside of where it is. You are Dorothy. You have the power to go home all along. It's within you. It's not outside. They're getting you to be deceived. And many people will see this and say it's crazy. They will dismiss it automatically. They'll just say it's coincidence. For those of you who are seeing this for the first time and see the correlation that there is no accident here, that it's made specifically to look like a human brain, and they specifically put God in that brain, it's telling you what religion is really about. Religion is about telling you, seek outside, get outside help. Don't do it yourself. You can't do it. You're too weak. You're too strong. I mean, you're not strong enough. And yet, you have the power in you. And when you doubt yourself and don't believe in yourself, you create your own truth, which, because we're all made of the same creation, we are all God. And that's not arrogance, that's written here. And that's why it says God is within you. It's just quite literally that you have the power to change everything. And if you believe you don't, you confirm your own truth. So what you want to do with this is all up to you. If you want to attack me for showing something that most people don't show, when I'm just showing you something that you may not have known about, if you want to kill me for that, then you have a problem with people's opinions and sharing alternative ideas. That's a form of control. I'm not telling you to believe me. I'm not telling you to change your thoughts. I'm just saying appreciate the fact that somebody is trying to show you alternative viewpoints where most will try and hide them or pretend they never existed. What you do with it is up to you. So if you appreciate it, if you want to share it, if you want to give it a thumbs up, whatever, I will definitely appreciate it. If you want to just dismiss it, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to attack me or anything because I'm just showing a different point of view so you can make up your own mind when other people don't give you that option, then how open-minded are you? So I look forward to hearing the comments, and I hope for people who have seen this for the first time, they start getting that aha moment that maybe things that you've been told are not exactly as they were. And if that's the case, when do we stop listening to these other people and start realizing that we have the power to change everything? Just got to start believing in it. We've put our faith and trust into too many people, and they've disappointed us. I mean, even recently, I was talking about Nigel Farage and what's going on in the Brexit, and look how they all jumped ship, and how they're changing their minds, and how all the things that they promised, all of a sudden they're saying, "Oh, we made a mistake." They tell you what you want to hear. They are the great deceivers. It's been going on forever. They will continually tell you what you want to hear, and you will continually believe them in the hopes that one day somebody will come along and actually do what they say. How many times does the same thing have to happen over and over again until people start believing it? So what to me is crazy is people that believe in their politicians, that believe in the things that you're told, even though they constantly steal from us, they constantly lie from us, things are getting worse, not better, yet we keep putting our faith in the next one to think, oh, maybe this is the one. But people like myself and others who try and point out things that to me looks pretty darn obvious, we're listed as the crazy ones. But I wonder who are the ones that are calling us the crazy ones. I'm not getting paid to do this. Yeah, I might make $4 in AdSense. That could buy me about 2 gallons of gas, but, there are people who get paid millions of dollars to destroy your life and your future, and your children's future. And we keep waving our flags and we keep saying, that's great. We keep going to these churches and they keep taking your money. They have no problem making you feel guilty. And I'll tell you, I was very religious when I was younger. When I was 19, I started going through this phase because I worked for a carpet linoleum place. And the guy that I worked with the carpets was a very religious person. And he indoctrinated me with his stuff to the point where I went to church. And the first day I went, it was like this gospel church that's no longer there. It was a pizza place that became a church that became a hardware store now. But when I went there, the sermon was about the clothes that people were wearing. That if you didn't dress up, you were almost insulting God. And I was sitting there thinking, what if you are a homeless person and you have no money to buy fancy clothes? Does that mean you don't love God or God doesn't love you? And I never went back. And right after that guilt trip, they passed around the plate and said, we'll gladly take your money, even though isn't money supposed to be the root of all evil? And if you look throughout history, how many wars, how many deaths, how many persecutions, how many imprisonments have happened based on religious control? And again, I'm not saying now everyone become atheists, because that's not the answer either. What I'm saying is religion has tainted what is for their own financial gain and power and control. If you want to keep following that, to me, that's the new crazy. The people that call people like us for pointing these things out as crazy, maybe it's just because you haven't caught up to it yet. It doesn't mean we're better. It just means we are willing to accept things are not as they have been. Because like I said, if everything is wonderful, then I would be the crazy one. If everything's wonderful and the politicians are all doing their jobs and religion is making people closer together and bringing them more peaceful and unity, then I can understand people like me would be crazy for trying to disrupt that. I'm still waiting for somebody to point out the utopia country that's in this world, in this land, whether it be round or flat. Anybody point it out yet? I'm still waiting. So to me, the new crazy is the people that still believe in the old ideals that have been pushed upon you, that time and time get disproven, debunked, and altered. People that constantly lie, constantly steal, constantly promise you everything in the world, and once they get your vote, they turn back on you. And yet, the next guy or the next girl, they'll be the one. Like Forrest Gump once said, stupid is as stupid does. So if you want to continue being led, don't be surprised you get led to the slaughter. So like I said, what you do with this is up to you. I'm just showing you what I found. Uncensored. Nobody telling me how to think. Nobody paying me off to dismiss this or pretend it didn't exist. Just so you have the choice to like it or hate it. How often do you get that in your schools, in your church, in your media, in your politics? Probably not as much. So think about that before you hate. Thanks for watching. I hope some of you got enlightened and awakened. I hope you appreciated this. And to everybody else, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We've been conditioned and programmed with these things for hundreds, if not thousands of years. It ain't getting better. It's time for a change. And only you can make it. Why? Because God's within you. Peace.